Hi, I'm Curt. I'm a veterinarian in Shrewsbury, New Jersey, and I'm from Philadelphia originally, but have lived in New Jersey in Monmouth County since 1989.
So I heard that you are, or you would call yourself a Republican. What do you think about your new candidate, Trump?
Um, like a lot of other Republicans, he was not tops on my list when there were 17 candidates, but he's touched a nerve with a lot of Americans, and I think it's a little shame the party as a whole hasn't backed him, but he's the candidate, and we're down to two, and so we have to make an educated and the best decision we can make for our personal beliefs and for what we think is best for the country.
So you are like a Republican, and you also you going with Trump, or is it?
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah.
More than likely. Only because I think, putting personalities aside, I think it's more policy is more geared towards what I believe might be best for the country. So.
You told me that Trump wasn't your number one most favorite candidate.
Right.
Who was your favorite?
I was a Ben Carson guy. Yeah.
Okay.
But as intelligent as he was, I knew he probably wouldn't go far because of his religious beliefs, to be honest with you. Yeah, he was my guy. Again, not a career politician, very intelligent guy, knows how to surround himself with people who can get things done. Great communicator. I think he would have been a very, very. I think he would have probably put a lot of his religious beliefs aside as far as policy and work in a bipartisan effort for health care, for education, things that in his eyes are not going well at the moment in America. So
There are you have few fights within the party.
that's for sure.
How do you see this, as a Republican and as a supporter for the party?
In a way, it's refreshing because I think one thing that did become apparent during this election is that nothing's getting done within either party or as a group in Congress. So for years the GOP always complained about the Dems about not getting things done, about being nonpartisan. But honestly, it goes in both directions. So I think it's been good for the GOP to see that there are millions of Americans supporting Trump who rather a lot of these lifetime Republican candidates in the Congress and Senate kind of take a look in the mirror, So I think it's been good. It's a shame nothing gets done, or very little. So hopefully that'll change. But I think it's going to require, term limits and other things that have been talked about for years, but just don't get done. So.
How do you? You watched last night's debate, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
What did you think of the debate?
I think of the three debates, they talked more about issues, which was good. I think there was still too much of the personal stuff. But that's unfortunately the nature of politics now, which is kind of sad. But I thought it was good that this moderator, I think, best he could, kept them on track with the issues and gave them ample time to answer their own questions, rebut each other. Again, it got nasty, which everyone expected.
So one part of the debate was also like the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you stand on this subject, like gun laws and?
I believe in the right to bear arms, but I honestly think that Hillary gets a bad rap on that because I don't think she wants to abolish the Second Amendment. I think she just wants tighter gun control laws, background checks. I'm all for it. But should we eliminate certain types of guns, or I don't think there's any evidence that will help reduce crime and murder. So, why people would want an automatic rifle, I don't know, but it's usually not the responsible gun owners that are shooting people. So, I think there's a lot of politicizing that particular issue, and honestly, I'm not far off from Hillary's views on that. So.
Maybe we'll just get to the last part. I always do like with each one. I always ask them different questions, but at the end I ask them one question, which is the same. So, what is your forecast for the elections in 2.5 weeks?
Who do I think will win?
Or whatever, yeah.
I think it's probably going to be Hillary who wins. Yeah.
What would you say about these, not allegations, but sayings?
I think that was just in Trump's DNA to do that. And I think he will support her if she gets elected. I think one of his campaign managers said, "Listen, we're going to accept the results, but and he used Philadelphia as an example. If Hillary wins by 400,000 votes in Philadelphia, that's probably legit. If she wins by 20,000, then maybe something weird's going on. So I think that was just rallying up his base. I don't think he gained any votes for that. If I was his campaign manager, I would not have liked him to have said that. But I don't think he's going to lose votes over that. It'd probably just rally up his rowdy base a little more. So, but so it was unusual.
So
there'll never be another election like this. More than likely.
Some experts, whatever, journalists and maybe political science majors say that could be it could be a problem that he's rallying up his supporters with those what do I want to say? With saying that the election could be rigged or something like that. Do you think the same, or is it? So not the view from Trump.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But the view from the supporters.
Right.
So the diehard Trump supporters. I know that you're not a diehard, that you're a Republican, and
right.
you want Republicans
right.
to gain the White
yeah.
House,
yeah.
or to conquer the White House again,
yeah.
or whatever. But what about like the diehard Trump supporters?
Yeah.
Who trust his words?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a lot of politics. I don't think there's, sadly, most of the violence has been, unfortunately, Democratic, folks at Trump rallies. So I think that's way overplayed. I really would like to think there's not going to be any kind of violence or anything like that, if that's what you're getting at. But I think it will. If he loses the election, it'll give his base and maybe the GOP, good things to think about for the next election. You know, where did we go wrong? How can we do things better? Should we be, should we maybe not be hoping that an insider or a career politician is our candidate? You know, maybe this whole populist thing is real. You know, this is more about America. These are, you know, I think a lot of Trump's supporters are good patriotic people. You know, seeing a country, seeing a change in history that they rather not see. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but a more global community, a more open community. But they also see government overreaching, I think, and maybe the Constitution not being looked at hard enough with some of these, Supreme Court decisions and executive orders and things like that. So I think that's been around. I mean, even from the first election in the United States, there's always been passionate people about their party, and back then they would shoot each other, back in the, So, but I don't think that's going to happen in modern day America. But there'll be some upset people, but there will be if Hillary loses too. So.
True.